All righty, let's get to work. NBA Finals. Game 2. Let's bring in our NBA expert, our man, your man, Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Dutch Boy Fresh, what up, my man? How are you?
All right, what's up, Jimmy? How we doing? Everybody in the chat. Salute to the low baggers for sure.
All is well here. Thank you for waking up bright and early. It is 20 after 7 a.m. for our man
Very
Dutch
early.
Boy Fresh in Vegas. Thank you for putting in the hustle.
Absolutely, boss. Thanks for
Let's
having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right to work. Heat Lakers game 2. I have so many different questions I want to throw at you, and then we're going to close with player props. That's how we are going to handle this. Okay, so let's start with the most blatant factor in game 2. Goran Dragic, plantar fascia tear in his left foot. Bam Adebayo, neck strain, doubtful. Not expected to be in the lineup. Let's start with Bam. Not that Dragic isn't extremely important. Let's start with Bam. Do we see some of Myers Leonard, or is it going to be the Kelly Olynyk show? Olynyk 6'11", 240 pounds. Leonard 7 foot, 255. They're going to get bullied. And Leonard's only played one game in these playoffs, 8 minutes, game 3 versus Bucks. Let's start with that matchup right here. How do you see the Heat handling Bam's injury?
It's a very big injury to me. I obviously was very upset with Dragic going out. I had the over in the prop, but Bam to me is the biggest injury. It kind of made me just go back and relook at everything. They only played one game without Bam, and that was actually the last game of the season in the bubble. We know they kind of took that game off. They actually only scored 92 points in that game. I do think we'll see more Myles Leonard. I also think we'll see a lot of Kelly Olynyk. But it's going to be a big issue without Bam. To me, it was going to be really tough for them to even compete in this series. I was really looking towards LA. And then without Bam, I just think it's going to be a sweep, to be honest with you. But I do believe we'll see a lot more Kelly Olynyk on the perimeter, and then they will give Myles Leonard some run.
Myers Leonard in that game, I looked up that game as well. He played 28 minutes. The Heat weren't able to do much in that game. How do you think it changes the Miami Heat pace? Miami Heat pace in the 8 games in the bubble, 100.69 possessions a game. First 3 rounds of the playoff, 97.35 possessions a game. Game 1 of the NBA Finals, 97.50 possessions a game. How do you think? And Bam could be. Bam is game time decision. Of the two of them, it sort of seems like Bam is more of a possibility. Although I might rest him. Make sure you have him later in the series. But, I don't know exactly what's going on.
I disagree with that. I think Bam should be out there. I couldn't believe that he was that doubtful, to be honest with you. I think this new breed isn't as tough as they used to be, Jimmy. I can't believe he's missing this game, to be honest with you.
It's tough. It's tough to know exactly what kind of pain he's dealing with.
Right. I agree, and I don't know how much pain he's in, but they got stuff for that pain to get you out there and play. This is game 2 of the NBA Finals. I mean, I get it with Dragic not playing. I mean, he's pretty much got 1 foot. I think it's his neck, his shoulder with Bam. I mean, ice that shit up and let's go.
Yeah. Jin Rami, it looks like Garrett Richards or Morahan. We're not sure at this point. All righty. So if Bam is out of the lineup with Olynyk and Myers Leonard, how does that affect pace?
Well, to me, I think Miami has to slow it down no matter what. They don't want to run and gun with LA. So you would think it would speed up the pace, considering those are more perimeter-oriented players. But if Miami wants to have any chance in this game, it's going to have to be slowed down in the half court. That's my personal opinion.
Well, that's what Slats was saying, and a couple other cappers in the chat as well, and they were leaning towards the under. This total opened up at 216. It's up to 216 and a half. Does that lead you to wanting to make a move on the under?
I already did make the move on the under actually yesterday, Jimmy, at 217 on Willie Hill. It opened at 2. It's down to 216 and a half there at Willie, but I did lock it in at 217. To me, the pace, like I said, Miami's going to have to slow it down. I just don't see where they're really going to get all the points from. I was on the under game 1. I didn't put it out because a lot of people were on the over as well, people I respect. So I kind of just, And I got lucky, I think, with Dragic going out. But to me, the Lakers have the defense to stop Miami. In Miami now, without Bam, obviously it's going to be tougher with AD. But I still think they're going to slow the pace down. LA will lock them down on D, and I definitely think we can get under the 216.5. I like it pretty much all the way down to 215. A couple numbers to back that up. The total has gone under in 5 of the last 6 Miami and LA games. In the NBA Finals, strictly for LA, the under has won 6. The last 6 games in the NBA Finals have went under. Also, 5-1 to the under after an ATS win for the Lakers. And for the Heat, they're 7-1 to the under when playing a team who's straight up with a straight up better record than them, or not better record, straight up winning against them, which obviously the Lakers are against Miami. 8-1 to the under on that. So everything to me just shoots the under. And like I said, where's Miami going to get the points? Bam is so much to their offense. Dragic was the guy that I thought would get off in this series. There's no Dragic. I just don't see. I see them struggling to get 100 points.
Struggling to get 100 points. All right, let's move over to Dragic, and your angle is very appealing and more appealing the more we talk about it. Let's talk about Dragic out, Kendrick Nunn in. Kendrick Nunn started off the year unbelievably well. Undrafted rookie. He was breaking records for undrafted rookies. And then something happened in the bubble. And in the early games in the bubble, I lost a couple bets on him in player props. Something happened.
Well, we did have COVID too, right?
At what point did he get COVID? Was it late in the bubble? I can't even.
Yeah, I can't give you an exact answer on that, boss. I just remember he had COVID, so I didn't know exactly when that was.
But he started the bubble healthy, is that right? And then he got COVID late. I'm trying to remember myself.
Okay.
So he gets COVID. He played. God, I got to go back to what happened with him in COVID now. I've got to refresh my memory of all that. So he misses a few games. I remember he came back and he just couldn't hit a bucket to save his life.
He just wasn't in sync. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wasn't in sync. And they – go ahead.
Yeah, couldn't hit any threes. Couldn't hit.
Right.
He was going 0 for 10, 0 for 11 in threes.
I mean, during the regular season, he averaged he had 20 points over 19 times. He averaged over 15 points a game in 67 games in the regular season. So the kid could score. In the 3 games against LA, he's averaged, including the game game 1, he had 18. He averaged in 14 points. Do you have a prop on him? He was the only one I couldn't find a prop on this morning.
No, it was the first thing I looked at too.
Yeah, because I'm looking for over on him. I expect him to get his attempts and everything. So if we do see a prop on there, I expect him to go to get at least around what he's averaging, 14, 15 points easy. So, and I do think we can find a prop lower than that if they give us one. But I was looking this morning, looked last night. I didn't see it. I do like, I don't know if you want to go on the props yet, but I do like a prop though.
I want to close up this, but let me ask you this. With Kendrick Nunn in replacing Dragic, don't you feel like the pace will speed up?
Yes. At one point, in an aspect, I do, but actually, I believe that they're better on defense without Dragic. So that, to me, counters back. To me, they're better defense with Dragic on the bench. That's his weakness. And do I think they're going to score more with Dragic or Nunn? I think they're going to score more with Dragic. So to me, I'm just playoff basketball, the intensity, LeBron, the way they look, the aggressiveness. I just can't take the over on this. And when I look at Miami, I said, where are they going to get the points? And it's not like they're not going to go out there and play D. Jimmy and Spo is going to have them ready to at least go out there and play some defense.
Okay, let's. Tony Mang says Duncan Robinson not mentioned. Duncan Robinson 0 in 27 minutes.
And it's 13 points, I believe. I thought that was a little high for him. I mean, that means we need, 4 threes and minimum probably, because he ain't going to do nothing else. Maybe get a layup. So need at least 4 threes from Duncan Robinson. I don't know if we're going to get that.
You made a great bet going on the under with Tyler Hero, game 1.
Yes. And it's good.
14 points, 6 of 18, 2 of 8 3-pointers. I mean, he was taking enough shots. But
he scared the hell out of me. They weren't guarding him like I wanted to either, especially when they got up. He had a lot of open shots. To be deadly honest with you, we should have not hit that. it looked good early, and then it just went to shit. And then he was actually didn't even play that much of the third quarter. I was like, whoa, so what's Spo doing? Thank you. And then he came out, had some more shots, and we did get lucky on that. He missed a couple wide open threes, but he's going to get his shots. So in that aspect, I do like the over 18.5 tonight, especially without Dragic. I think Spo's going to go down with his guns, and Hero and Butler are his two biggest guns.
Okay. All right. This is very interesting, and we're going to get into the player props, and Dutch just had such a great angle with the Miami Heat. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw from the Lakers. LeBron was dominant. He just looked so in control of the game, the pace, defensively. But their big swing happened that, the Heat had that early 13-point lead, happened with LeBron on the bench, but he was still spectacular. 25 points, 13 boards, 9 assists. AD, this is his perfect series for AD.
Yeah.
And now with Bam out, it just gets easier for him.
So ideal for him. Who's going to bang him? He doesn't like to get banged around, so he doesn't have to worry about getting banged around now. It's
exactly.
Ideal.
Exactly. 34 points, 11 of 21 shooting. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a move that our Trotwam made on the over 9.5, cashed that in 8 minutes, but only ended up with 13. Danny Green looked good. Caruso looked good. It was a dominant performance.
Caruso looked nice.
Did you see anything? From what you watched in Game 1, is this going to be a sweep? Is this going to be done in a matter of days?
Well, I had Lakers in 5 with Bam and Dragic. Without Bam and Dragic, I guess we're gonna just be able to get the extra 3 games, but it doesn't. This is over, Jimmy. It's just a matter of it should be 4. Definitely should be 4. I'm locked in on the Lakers tonight. First half -5.5. They're 8-2 ATS in their last 10. First half, I think they're clearly the better team. I don't want to lay double digits with them full game. But I did like them first half, first quarter as well, -3. It went up to 3.5. I haven't pulled the trigger on that, but I am locked in -5.5 first half. I don't see any way that the Lakers are not up by 10 to 12 points at halftime, unless they just completely don't show up first half.
So I think just this has actually worked. I started laughing because it doesn't feel like I have the statistical backing here on this spot, but I just feel when you believe in a basketball team like we have learned to believe in this Miami Heat basketball team over the year, especially since we've gone into the bubble, that you take out 2 very important players, but you still have Jimmy Butler, who demands accountability and is extremely impressive the way he gets the best out of his players, or he'll just leave your city and leave your team. And I see him looking in Kendrick Nunn's eyes saying, this is your chance. I see him looking into all these guys' eyes, this is your chance. And I'm not saying the Lakers are fat and happy, because LeBron won't allow that in the playoffs. But I do like the Heat first quarter. I do like the Heat coming out and playing strong. And I notice you don't have the Lakers first quarter. We're going to move on to props in a second here. We've seen 2 looks from our Dutch boy Freshies on Lakers first half and full game under. What do you think of me on the other side with the Heat first quarter plus 3.5?
Okay, so that's exactly what I thought was. I think that we'll get the best part of the Miami Heat in the first quarter. I think they'll get everything they had to bring. Spo will have them ready to rock and roll. Jimmy, like you said, he'll have his guys pumped up, ready to be locked in. But eventually, they're going to realize they're just too much on the other side. They're overmatched. They jumped out to a great start game 1. I believe we're up at 15 points, and like that, Caldwell-Pope took it away. LeBron was on the bench when that happened. I know they remember that. So I do think your live first quarter. I didn't pull the trigger, obviously. I like the 3.5, not so much. Very close to pulling the trigger on the Lakers. I don't think I could bet Miami here, but I do. That was my thought of what was holding me up was simply I believe that Miami will be ready. I do believe they'll come out ready to go first quarter. but it won't last long. I hope it lasts through the first quarter for you, and then it goes away very quickly in the second quarter for me, Jimmy.
We have had some very interesting market moves here. We've seen a leading indicator offshore book already move it to 9 from a 9.5. And the first quarter is all over the map. We have 2 books still hanging a 3, and we have our first 4 on the board. Lakers -4. And I would have had a 5-cent better price if I had have waited. Okay, so before we go into player props, Dutch, you have 2 official plays, just 2, Lakers first half and full game under 217.
Yes. Do you have 217 out there anywhere or no?
I have 217.5 at my book. Let's just take a quick look at the licensed American books and see what they're offering, and then let's also take a look and see if there's what's going on offshore.
What's your feel on the over under, Jimmy?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Is Jimmy Butler hurt?
I mean, see, Jimmy Butler's probably as hurt as Bam is, and he's going to play because he's a different kind of cat, in my personal opinion. I think everybody's probably a little bit beat up right now. I don't think he's hurt. I think he's beat up. I don't think Bam's hurt. I think he's beat up. I just don't think he wants to get any more hurt because he keeps getting banged around and he's keep getting re-injured. No, I don't think Jimmy's hurt. I think he's beat up.
DraftKings, Bet Rivers, both still hanging 217.
Okay, yeah, I would jump on that.
DraftKings, Bet Rivers still hanging 217. I think that Kendrick Nunn speeds everything up. I think Rondo is tricky. And Caruso is smart, in the right places, good defensively. But I would expect Kendrick Nunn to think, I can run these guys into the floor. And so if that's his idea, then they're going to need Hero Robinson hitting threes, and they're going to need Nunn sprinting up and down the floor. Will Butler's ankle slow that up?
I don't believe so. I just don't believe Spo wants to run with this team. But maybe he does. Maybe that's his only way he feels that he can stay in it because it didn't work too well in game 1 when they tried to slow it down a little bit. I
can't say – I can understand you guys, a bunch of sharp cappers thinking that they're going to slow it down. But when I saw Nunn on the floor, he was flying.
Right. He looked really good, too. That's why I was instantly trying to lock in the props because I always know that whoever the Lakers are going to play, the point guard, as long as he can score, is going to get off. They always have issues with scoring point guards. That's why I really like Dragic. But I do like Nunn. I just don't think he's going to be that big of a difference. I don't think he's a better offensive player than Dragic by any means. So I don't see them scoring more with Nunn. I do see him moving very quickly on the court. So I get your point there of them speeding it up.
So I'm not going to take the over, but I don't know what to do with the total at this point. And okay. I don't see anybody sitting here going, take the over. So, we have the cappers in the chat like the under. KD.
What is Al Mack on today?
Fourth quarter heat.
Fourth quarter heat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go into the world of player props, something you've been handling expertly. Why don't you take it away? I've got them all up on the board, points, rebounds, assists, everything. Take it away. What is the prop? Who is the player that you're looking at?
Okay, so like I mentioned to you earlier, and you went off with the stats with Hero, he was getting up his shots. They just weren't really falling. I don't really think they were really in sync. And I honestly don't think he's got as many minutes as he would usually simply because of the score. So I'm all over Tyler Hero today. I believe 18.5. I believe it's minus 120. I see 19 out there at even or maybe minus 105. But I definitely think Hero's going to get at least 20 attempts tonight. I do think he's the best offensive player for Miami. Nowhere near the level of Jimmy Butler as a complete basketball player, but offensively, he's the best Miami's got right now. So I don't see how he doesn't get at least 20 to 24 points, and get it probably anywhere from 20 to 24 shots up. I just see when you look at what Miami has to offer, who do you want out there shooting besides Tyler Hero if Jimmy Butler's not attacking the rim? Pretty much that's what I see. I do think Nunn will do his thing. If we can find a prop with Nunn, I expect him to get anywhere from 14 to 16 points in this game. But I have not seen anything out there for Nunn.
Nate Schellhammer says, I missed on Hero 1 point off. I agree. I like Hero again. And Nick Hub says we have a total out for Pods cards, 8.5. Thank you, Nick. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm gonna destroy it. My palm started leaking as soon as Nick told me that total's out. I got to get in on that fast. Tyler Hero over 18.5 points. He's being celebrated enormously for that 37-point game he put up, and I wonder if the lights are getting a little too bright. And he seems like a baller. He seems, all the stuff about knowing all the names and following the careers of the guys who were drafted ahead of him. But, I mean, the Lakers know. We can't let Hero beat us. He's the only weapon they have.
And that's why I was on the under, especially even money at 16 game one. But now I almost feel like the Lakers Hero can get his. He can get, 25. We're still going to probably win by 15, I mean, before it was we got to hold Dragic, we got to hold Bam, we got to hold Butler. We can't not let this kid Hero get off or else we're in trouble. Now it's pretty much that's all they got to worry about. I mean, to me, Jimmy looked very aggressive in the first quarter, game one, but he hasn't looked too aggressive offensively too much in the bubble, especially in the last, series with Boston. And then as well, so far in game one, he kind of falled out after the first quarter. So he doesn't really seem to attack that much offensively. I think we'll see more of that him today. What's his props? 23 today, I believe I've seen it. Points?
Jimmy?
Yes.
It's 22.5.
22.5. Yeah. So, I mean, I like Hero better. I wouldn't be mad over that with Jimmy too, because these are the two guys that are going to be having the ball pretty much every time down the court.
Oh, God, I love slats. Says another sweat with Hero Dutch. We'll ride it. 7 bets on 2 games. I would tell my wife we are not leaving the house. Jimmy style.
Let's get it, slats all day, baby. Well, I'll be sweating it with the wifey too. Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, I like that
guy. Man, that's fun. Okay,
yeah.
Dutch is on Tyler Hero props. I cashed with LBJ under 28.5. His point totals dropped a point, and it's juiced to the over. If you just looked at how the market was handling game one, you got the feeling that AD was going to lead the Lakers in scoring. He was going to score more than LBJ. Here, if you have any belief in what the market is telling you, they like LBJ to have a big game, and AD is now juiced to the under in player points. At this point, am only going to make one bet. I'm going to study the total. I'm going to think about everything that you said. But at this point, I'm on the Miami Heat first quarter plus the points. Miami Heat first quarter plus the points. And our Dutch boy Fresh has made 3 moves on this game. 2 side total player prop. He has Lakers first half. He's got the under 217. So Lakers first half minus 5.5. Under 217 in the full game. And then he's got Tyler Hero over 18.5 points. Is there any other player prop you're looking at before we move on, Dutch?
Honestly, I didn't really see anything else I liked out there. Like the Duncan Robinson one, I looked at because I thought, okay, he's gonna get some shots. I was hoping it would be more around 10.5. It's at 13, so I don't think I could pull the trigger on that. AD, I know you said what you said about LeBron. To me, this is like we talked about. AD should be getting 30, 12, 30, and 15 just easy, just showing up. I mean, they have no one that can even really just muscle him around, even push him around, which is just ideal for him. So I expect AD to have another big monster game. And it's really, to me, it's about if he's going to be on the court in the fourth quarter, to get that. So we'll see. But I'm only locking in Hero for now. I'll tweet out anything else if I do see it. I'm going to search for Nunn. Hopefully they'll pop that out. I can't believe we'll have a prop on him. Got a prop on Duncan Robinson, but not Kendrick Nunn. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was It was the first thing I looked at too when I woke up this
Brain
morning.
minds think alike, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I was a big fan of Nunn during the regular season, and it was Swerven told us that he had COVID before the bubble,
Okay.
so I just mishandled him when the bubble started, and I mishandled the bubble when it started. But overall, the year is it's been good, not great, but it's been good overall. Let me just pull it up one final time here. How's my numbers? We are 167 wins, 146 losses, up 8.02 units, ROI plus 2.56%, and the average line minus 108. Dutch Boy Fresh, spectacular work. I think you're gonna have a successful day. I like your looks. And
my man. Just for just since we're doing that, just so we know, since I've been on the show, I'm 3-2 with my picks, up 0.80 units. So but we're gonna go 3-0 today for the show.
oh, I love it. And you've had a great start to your NFL season. We need more Dutch Boy Fresh on the show. Great
Yeah.
stuff. Follow our
I'm on
man.
the Bears. My bad. Real quick, I'm just on the Bears with you. I love the Bears play. I love that the +2. Did you get at 3 or 2.5?
I wish I could tell you I got it at 3, but I got it at 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like the money line too. I think they went out right with Foles, definitely. But yeah, I'm with you on that game.
I like that. And you've been keeping your quantity of action. This is good that we're moving on to NFL because we have John Ryan making a show debut, and we're going to start with 3 spots in NFL. You've been keeping the quantity of your action down. Is that something that you had planned to do? You've only made 8 bets so far to start the NFL season.
Yeah. Well, just to keep it a hundo with you, I didn't put out my first week. I actually went 3-1 my first week, but I didn't put it out. I don't know why I didn't do that. So those are actually just week 2 and 3.
Okay, that makes
So it makes it a little better, right? Makes it a little better.
Well, no, I don't think that the quantity of action. You know what?
But I don't go crazy.
Every handicapper's goal is for their unit size to go up.
Right.
That's the goal, and there's different ways of getting there. I mean,
I just want to fill it out a little more. The first couple of weeks. Not that I'm not confident in my plays. I just want to make sure I'm seeing things clearly. So less is more for me at that point.
The first few weeks are difficult. The first few weeks are very difficult, and I'm sitting 12 and 13 down 2.3 units to start the year. But my goal is for my unit size to go up. I want next stop $500 units, $1,000 units. That's how you know if you're succeeding, is because your unit size has gone up.
Right. So absolutely.
So I don't think having a small sample size or small quantity of bets is a bad thing at all.
No, for sure. But yeah, I do like the Bills Mafia as well. And then I did lock in that first half 6.5 with the Rams.
Okay, sweet. All right.
So those are those are the 3 looks that I'm pretty confident in.
I'm
already locked in.
I'm off the Bills game. I'm a little concerned about the Raiders at home, so I haven't moved there.
Josh Allen's bet on, bro.
Say what, Dutch?
Josh Allen, he's bet on. I was on him, and I like that kid. I just something about him. But I think the Bills are a solid team. I mean, I get a lot of shit. You see, I got the Broncos hat here in Vegas, and I'm not too much of I don't. It's not that I root against the Raiders, but I'm definitely not sold on them. We'll see though.
Well, I can't wait to be down in Vegas and catch a game with you, my friend. Thank you for sharing your hard work. You're getting a ton of love from the chat. The
chat is the best thing in my life right now.
I love it.
I love it. Slash, I appreciate you.
I love it.
Big shout out to DJ Big Boss coming out here and kicking in with me too. You got to get here to Vegas, and we got to all link up, my man. Do it big.
Yeah, by the way, Dutchy, our Von Polo is going to be in town in Vegas this weekend. I'd love if you guys can hang out.
Yeah, just DM me and we'll link up.